Hey guys, AZT here with day 2 of VEDIM. For today's video, I'm going to do my top 10 anime and like the one moment from each anime that kind of made me like pay attention, like suddenly decide I needed to watch all what happened before and all what happened after and hope that somewhere it made sense. I'm not doing these in any particular order, these are just as I see them. Yes, I'm going to may have them written down on a piece of paper that's just off camera, but we'll keep that a secret between us. Anyway, and my first one is obviously, first one is number one, and that's going to be probably Black Butler. Black Butler was one of those animes where I first started watching it. I was like, I will never get into this. I just looked at it and thought it was something that I just couldn't get into, and that I would never be able to start watching. And then I started watching it, and very quickly became obsessed with it. And it's become quite possibly one of my favourite anime. I mean, it's just so outlandish and so out there that yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever, and yet makes perfect sense. And yeah, I think the moment I have to pick from that one is probably the conversation between Theo and Claude in season 2, where they have that conversation about what's going to happen with Eloise and Theo and everything like that, and you're just so bewildered that these two are talking. I mean, Sebastian's talking about getting rid of his master once for all, which is kind of a big thing when you think about it. And he's just completely offhand. And Claude arguably is obvious that he's arguing with, doesn't care about Eloise at all. He's just this annoying little thing that he has to deal with, and I just find the attitude in that just so shockingly hilarious. And yeah, so that's my one for that one. Number 2 is Monster, and it was one of those that got really dark and just stayed dark, which is what I liked, because I'd been watching so many happy shiny things at that point. I was like, oh god, I need something that won't make me miserable, but it's really broody. And for me, Monster just was exactly what I was looking for. And for me, the moment from that is the moment where Dr. Tenma realizes that it's the guy who's been behind everything, all the unraveling and all the violent deaths, is the little boy he saved right at the start of the anime. And you're kind of left thinking that shouldn't have been like that. That's just creepy, and yet it couldn't be anybody else, which is what to me I loved. It was just so out there that I was like, oh yeah. At the same time, you're kind of wrapped up in fuzzy feelings of course. Next one is Darker Than Black, but it's only season 1. I don't like season 2. Season 2 for me is it made no sense, and I thought it was really overworked. But season 1 was brilliant. I think it's Giguk who is one of my YouTube aspirations, if you will, one of the YouTubers I want to be with, who describes the lead character Hay the best as Chinese electric Batman, which is hilarious. But it's when Hay, the lead character, you discover that Hay is Lee or Lee is Hay, depending on which way you want to look at it. And it's just kind of so shocking that you don't expect it, and yet there's this kid who looks so socially awkward and so I don't know what I want to do, and yet he's this badass that you can't help but respect, can't help but admire. And yeah, it's that whole thing really got me. Next one I couldn't really pick a moment for, which is Oran High School Host Club. So it's just the whole thing. The whole thing is just so, it gets wackier and wackier for me every episode, and I just think it's hilarious. And you want to take it seriously, but you know you're not going to. And it's so brilliant, and yet so completely batshit insane that you're kind of left in the middle of Nowheresville, and it's brilliant. My next one would be Geass. And for me, again, this is another one which is really bad because there's nothing to watch after it, because it's the ending that's the moment for me. It's the moment when Natalie realizes about, well, finds out about the agreement between Lelouch and Suzaku, and and like finds out that like Lelouch set Suzaku up to kill him, so that like the anger of the world, which has been focused on this one person, now has nowhere to go, and suddenly the world can become more diplomatic and stuff like that. And it's just like, wow, that one kind of shut me up. And I was like, oh, because no matter how much of a prick Lelouch became, you knew there was some good in him, and then when you discovered it, it was kind of, oh, he's a good guy, really. Next one is Hellsing. Now, I must admit, everyone said to watch like the like Hellsing Ultimate or Ultimate Hellsing, whichever way it's pronounced. I really shit when it comes to that, but I just didn't, and I don't think I could have, because I think for me that would have poisoned my view and poisoned the way I look at it. But my moment for that is like the first time you see Alucard just go and like turn into like the beast, like the big ugly like dog beast. I say ugly, but personally, hey, it's attractive. Hey, that kind of power, you're going to play nice with it, because you know the guy can literally eat you alive in a second if he wants to. But yeah, it's that time where it first kind of changes, and you're kind of left going, oh, okay, this is pretty serious now, and you can't look, and yet it's so gory and so violent, but you won't look away, you can't look away, and that's the cool thing about it. You just phase off, and you just like don't care, because it's like, yeah, no, this guy's awesome. I'll go away. Next one is kind of a more popular one, which is Deathnote. Bearing in mind this, I'm talking about the series, not the series of films, not the live action films, but like the main anime series. And it's the moment where Elle dies for me. I was like, when I first saw it, I couldn't be happier. I was like, yes, the bastard's dead. I didn't like Elle. I was like, the bastard's dead. And then when you analyse it, you kind of think, did this just kill the anime? I used to be such a huge fan of like Nier and everyone else, and well, Nier more than anyone, but mainly because Mello annoys me, and they didn't use Mile Geass much in the anime, which annoyed me, because obviously in the manga he has such a much more impactful kind of style, and he's more of an impactful character in the manga than he is in the anime, but it's just awesome. But the moment where Elle dies, you're kind of left thinking, aww, because obviously that kills Elle, that killed Whammy, or Watari, depending on which one you want to call him, and that killed probably the only person who could prevent like Light going completely insane, and like that killed them, and that I felt sad for. When you knew that the only way this could have happened is like Rem dying, that bothered me. I was like, oh no, because I adored Rem like to pieces. Rem was just amazingly awesome. Next one is Bezerk, which is really bad because it's like the only kind of Shota kind of time period one on my list, and yeah, it's such an impactful and important anime. My choice for that is the ending, like the proper ending, and it's like the ending of the anime, not the proper ending, the ending for the anime. Sorry about that confusion. And it's really bad because obviously you've got Guts charging at Griffin, who's like raping what's her name. I'm really bad with like other characters' names, and I'm really sorry for that. And yeah, you've got that bit with the demon's claw, and you're like, this isn't going to end. And then it does. And you are stunned into an absolute silence you cannot describe. And it's just like, what? Huh? Explain? Because there is no explanation for it. The only explanation you could possibly even surmise for it is, fuck my life, basically. But Bezerk's ending just kind of, oh, I then rewatched it 2 or 3 times to hope that there would be somewhere in the lines that would like make sense. And surprise, surprise, no, there wasn't. Next one, I think I'm on 8 or 9 ones. I do apologize. I should have numbered these. Next one was Drangonball. I think it was the Cell Saga. Yeah, no, it's the Cell Saga, and it's the father, son, or final, depending on what you want to call, what people call it, the Kamehameha. Sorry, Kamehameha. And it's like, it's that moment when it's just like, oh my god, no. When you know that the extra power could have only come from Goku. Like, the only reason Gohan was able to do it was because of Goku, and you're like, no. Because, like, it's such an emotionally poignant moment. You know, it's one of those moments that makes you feel so good, and yet makes you feel so bad inside. And you just don't know how you're gonna cope with it. Forget how the rest of it cope with. Oh, and then obviously we had the world champion bit and Goku. And after that, I kind of lost interest because, like, it just stopped making sense for me. Next one is Vampire Knight and Vampire Knight Guilty. Everyone like rants about me because it's a Funimation and it's like, oh, what are you doing? And yeah, I love it. It was like one of the ones I loved. And the moment I choose for that is when you find out that Yuki is Kaname's, like, Kaname's sister slash daughter slash progenitor slash whatever, and you're kind of, how does this make absolutely any sense? It's because for me it didn't, because it shouldn't have made sense, because it was like, no, just like, she was grateful that like you saved, that's like where it ends, you saved her life, and then you're through in Guilty. Now, I know a lot of people hate on Guilty because it's like convoluted and already expansive storyline and like had loyalties and everything like that getting tested, but I actually like Guilty. Guilty was a good season. I just wish they'd kept their bargain and come up with season 3, because they did like the manga for season 3, and the manga for season 3 was so brilliant, and we didn't get it in an anime, and I was so angry because season 3 would have been a badass. Next one is, sorry about this. Next one is, I've already touched on Monster, Black Butler. Actually, I think I'm done. In fact, I'm pretty certain I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Right, I really won't edit this because I don't like editing videos. In fact, I won't edit this because I don't edit videos. Okay, I'm a shit video editor. But yeah, I will like put in like in the notes and comments and in the title massive spoilers, massive spoiler alert. So if you watch this and didn't know what you were expecting, I really apologise. But however, I strongly suggest you check out all of the anime I've mentioned. I love you guys, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye bye.